We're a week into the PVL and things are looking better and brighter already for the season-ending All-Filipino Conference. Now, here to take a look at yesterday's results and the upcoming games this weekend is PVL analyst Jamie Lavitoria. Jamie, last time you were here, I had a horrible time in terms of my wordplay and in terms of the words I use. So let's try and see if I can improve on that here. Let's take a look at some of the games yesterday, though. You actually covered in that particular game day. Which one do you want to start out with first?
The PLDT game.
All right, so with PLDT, what impressed you here with Davison? Because a lot of people had expectations from her coming in.
Well, I wanted to highlight her because in her last match, you can see that she's still trying to adjust to the system of Coach Ralph, and in fact, the Philippine system of volleyball. So I wanted to highlight her because she already improved from yesterday's game. She is gelling well with Rhea, their setter, and you notice in her games that she has the hops, and a lot of her attacks are in between the block or is actually towering over the block. So it's important that the defense of her opponent really stays low on defense.
You know, Pao, Jamie has been at it in the PVL so far. She's been covering almost every game day, so she knows what's going on, like from start to finish, well, from her last game day. So now, Jamie, let's talk about another game, Chocomucho and Farm Fresh. You wanted to highlight CC Rondina.
So yesterday, Chocomucho was actually down the start of the first set, but they had a 12-0 run, and you know, you question the maturity of the Farm Fresh Foxies because you're going up against the vets. So CC Rondina, when she has that momentum, it is impossible to defend her attacks. When she, again, just like Davison, she also has the hops. So you need to minimize all the inconsistencies of Farm Fresh and don't let Chocomucho have that momentum.
Now let's talk about the new teams. You're talking about, you know, maturity with Chocomucho and the new ones coming in. So let's talk about the galleries. They had a game against the Cherry Tigo Crossovers. Unfortunately, they lost that in straight sets. Actually, all of the games yesterday were won in straight sets. So possibly the fastest game day so far
8
in
PM,
the PVL.
You know, we're saying so far, baka the next one might be a bit extended. But yeah, about that game.
In terms of the galleries, it's a new team. They're still adjusting to the system. You can see that their movements are not as fluid. They're not gelling, unlike Cherry Tigo, who has the chemistry. So it really takes some time. I mean, time is your companion in the game of sports. So you really need the maturity first.
Yeah, you know, you said the magic word just a while ago in terms of adjustment. And Atida has to make another adjustment, and that is because Said Domingo news that she is going to be playing overseas, abroad, exploring new horizons. And of course, first of all, we have to be really happy for Said and the opportunity right in front of her.
I mean, you don't have Gia de Guzman. I mean, it's a huge adjustment for the Creamline Cool Smashers. But I always say this, they have a lot of weapons that can be there with Bernadette Pons in the mix, and I have to give credit to Kyle Negrito. She has been doing a great job. She's under a lot of pressure, but I'm sure she's blocking out the outside noise, and let's see in their match, the next match.
And of course, it's always a good thing for players to be seeing action overseas. Of course, they're going to sharpen their skills, and maybe as soon as they come back to Creamline, you know, they have more to impart to their teammates. So what are you excited about Said and probably what she could bring overseas and maybe as she comes back to Creamline?
Well, when you play overseas, we don't know where she's going to play. It wasn't announced.
It's still a secret.
It's still a secret, guys.
Rumors. Yes.
But when you play internationally and you bring all the learnings from the team that you were at to the Philippines, it adds like a new level, a new depth to the team, and maybe that will be better for Creamline.
Yeah, you know, I'm just reminded of like when Mylene Paat went out to become an import and she came back. It felt like she was a completely different player and was turned out to be one of the better scorers in the PVL. But you take a look at the Creamline right now, at least in the short term. Grabe mga changes, almost enforced because of the departures. You take a look at what it takes to adjust and still be on top. Just how difficult would it be for the coaching staff and the players adjusting to all of this?
Well, I think they have such a seasoned roster. They've been with the PVL since 2018 under the system of Coach Sherwin Menezes. So, you know, they're vets. They don't have time to think of what they should do next. They just move forward, and that's what you can see from Creamline this conference.
Of course, they have a lot in their arsenal. So you mentioned Kyle Negrita really stepping up. She had 3 points and 23 excellent sets. That's just amazing. And of course, more opportunity was given also to Bernadette Pons.
Yes.
Yeah.
She actually came off the bench. She was not a starter.
Right.
She went in for Tots Carlos. And I said this last time, it's kind of like the rebirth of Bernadette Pons back in indoor. And I mean, she was the beach volley partner of CC.
Yeah.
You know, they were rivals and teammates and then rivals again. So do expect more playing time, especially after that game.
It was a throwback to a UAP time in the UAP when Sam was still in school.
Oh, wow.
I may have been still in school. I think, yeah, I don't know. But our age gap's not that big. But let us all now focus on the games happening on Saturday tomorrow. It's going to be in Batangas City.
Yep.
And Jamie, as always, will be there because she's a fixture in every PVL game day.
On that streak.
Absolutely. But you are excited because your mom is from Batangas.
Yes, my mom is from Batangas. I have not been to Batangas in such a long time. And not only am I excited to cover the games, you know, Lomi, it's there.
Yeah, Lomi's there.
I mean, it's there.
I don't know how you can bring some home to us, but those are the games happening tomorrow, Petro Gazz and Gerflor, and of course, Creamline against Cignal. Let's focus first on that Petro Gazz game in particular, as well as with Gerflor. Staying consistent has to be a thing for them here in the early part of PVL.
That's right. They're with Coach Timmy now. I said this earlier about Creamline. They are also a seasoned roster. They have a lot of vets on their team. So it depends on who can adjust quicker. And when you have vets on your team, you know, you don't have to think too much. You just have to play the game, and you're able to adjust right away.
Yeah, you talked about Petro Gazz, you know, being the veteran teams. They have a new coach and Coach Timmy. And what's interesting is that, you know, he told me that his like philosophy or what he wants to bring to this team is actually just finding out how to manage everybody's like veteranness. I mean, like experience, right? Because everybody is just so seasoned, so it's all about just making them shine. Now let's talk about another game, the Creamline Cool Smashers and the Cignal HG Spikers. This is exciting because Eliza is also from Batangas.
Yeah. There's going to be home ground support there also, and a lot of Lomi to go around and ask for. But you take a look at the Creamline, and I'm sure Cignal, skin out na to.
That's right, Cignal. They were there for the opening game against Akari, and I mean the way that they were playing. Like I've been saying this entire segment, seasoned roster as well. With the loss of Rachel Andakis and Jovelyn Gonzaga, you see Cess Molina really stepping up, and also Vanny Gander.
Yeah, again, a test of consistency for sure, but then you take a look at Creamline. There will always be points to improve, but then what do you think they need to do just to make sure that they have the edge over Cignal?
So in their last match against the Chacamucha Flying Titans, they committed 9 unforced errors in the third set, which allowed Chacamucha to capitalize on that set. So I think they should lessen their unforced errors and maybe set more to the middle to add variation to the offense.
Now, just quickly, who do you think will shine in that game tomorrow between the Creamline Cool Smashers and the Cignal HG Spikers?
So with the Creamline Cool Smashers, I would have to say Kyle Negrito.
Okay.
She's the playmaker. And on the side of Cignal, do expect Cess Molina to just give it her all. She is the MVP from the Invitational Conference.
Again, PVL goes to Batangas City tomorrow. Petro Gazz Angels against the Gerflor Defenders at 4 p.m. and at 6 p.m. the Creamline Cool Smashers take on the Cignal HD Spikers. And you will see the fixture of the PVL in Jamie Lavitoria wandering around looking for Lomi.
Yes,
Point
Jamie on tour as she goes back to her hometown. All the best tomorrow, Jamie, and enjoy. Bring some Lomi next time on the game.